dear students. Now, coming to today's lecture, that is lecture 8 of the subject Human Anatomy and Physiology. Hope you all are doing well every day and learning new things each day. Now, coming to today's lecture on the topic classification of tissues, structure, location and functions of connective tissue. In our previous lectures, we already discussed about so many different tissues, like for example, muscular tissue, neuronal tissue, skeletal tissues. Okay. So, today we will discussing about the connective tissue. Let us start. First, we will talking about the classification of connective tissue. So, the connective tissues are basically classified into 4 different classes of connective tissue. The first one is the connective tissue proper. The second one is cartilaginous connective tissue. The third one is the bone connective tissue and the fourth is the fluid connective tissue, or we can say the blood connective tissue. Now, coming to individual connective tissues one by one in detail. Coming to the first one, that is connective tissue proper. This connective tissue proper is further divided into 2 types. The first one is the loose connective tissue and the second one is the dense connective tissue. It is the name is given according to the arrangement of cells. The cells which are loosely packed forming the connective tissue is loose connective tissue and the closely tightly bound cells is the dense connective tissue. Now, the loose connective tissues again divided into 3 subtypes: areolar loose connective tissue, adipose loose connective tissue and the third one is the reticular loose connective tissue. Now, coming to the second type, which is dense connective tissue proper, it is also further subdivided into 3 types. The dense connective tissue, the first one is the regular dense connective tissue, after that we are having irregular dense connective tissue and the third one is the elastic dense connective tissue. Now, coming to the second connective tissue, the example is the cartilaginous connective tissue, which is hyaline cartilaginous tissue, fibrocartilaginous tissue and here you will find again the elastic cartilaginous connective tissue. Now, coming to the third connective tissue, the example is bone, osteocytes. Osteon means bone structure. Okay. So, bones is 2 types, the compact bone and the spongy bone. This in detail, the bone skeletal system we will study in our next unit in detail, then I will elaborate you the different cells which form the bone structure in detail. Now, the fourth one is the example of fluid connective tissue. Here the blood is the example. Now, coming to the various types of connective tissues, their location and their characteristic features with their specialized functions which they are able to perform. The first one, we are having 6 different types of connective tissue, students. The first one is the loose connective tissue. After that, we are having adipose tissue, blood tissue, fibrous connective tissue, cartilaginous connective tissues and lastly the bone. So, coming to one by one, loose connective tissue, it is located beneath or we can say the under the skin. So, here we are talking about the shoulder. You will see in the histological diagram, this is the microscopic structure of the loose connective tissue which is composed of cells. So, we know the so many same type of specialized function carrying cells makes a tissue. So, these here we are having cells. Apart from cells, we have the curved structures. This is collagen fiber. Collagen is nothing chemically, these are proteins which make a sieve, mesh like structures. Okay. And this collagen fibers is present along with some other myofibrils. Okay. Now, coming to the second connective tissue, that is adipose tissue. Adipose, see this diagram where it is located. In the these adipose tissues are also known as fat tissues because it collects and accumulates the fatty substances which we eat as our fast food, sometimes fats, triglycerides, cholesterol rich diet, and we do not do our regular routine exercise, okay, then we having ability to get obese. Then for this you will see the histological picture of this adipose tissue, the yellow circle droplets considered as fat droplets, and these fat droplets are located in this area along with the other adipose cells. Okay. The cells which are normal cells, same type of cells which is forming this adipose tissue, and the cells we already know having specific nucleus and cell organelles along with the cytosol, in which the cell organelles are floated. After that, the third type of connective tissue we are having fluid connective tissue. The example is the blood. So, we know about the blood. Blood is the fluid which is floating throughout our body in a circulatory system, or we can say in a systemic circulation. The blood, see this diagram, the leg portion, this is the blood vessels, and see the diagram of blood. Here you will found the plasma which is composed of different type of blood cells, that is WBC and RBC. WBC stands for white blood cells, RBC is the red blood cells, along with the plasma is there. Now, coming to the fourth connective tissue, that is fibrous connective tissue. So, as the name depicts only, the fibers are there. It is this type of connective tissue forming the ligament basically. So, you will see here just below or above the bone structure, we are having fibrous connective tissues. See the diagram, students. The fibrous connective tissue are composed of same, the cells are there in every tissues, nucleus and the collagen fibers are present, same as that of the loose connective tissue. Here also you are having the collagen fibers. After that, the fifth connective tissue, the example is the cartilaginous tissue. These are located at the end of the bones, and this cartilaginous tissue can join one bone end to the another bone startup. Okay. So, see the diagram, the cells are there and these cells are floating in the matrix layer. So, this matrix is nothing but this is the ECM. What is ECM, students? The ECM is the extracellular matrix, okay, where the various cells in the cartilaginous tissues are floating. Now, coming to the sixth one, bone connective tissue. See the diagram, bone connective tissue you will find in the skeletal system throughout, where the bones are located in our whole body. So, see the diagram, central canal you will see, this is the central canal unit. Again here you will found the ECM, extracellular matrix, and the normal cells which can join and form this bone connective tissue. Now, coming to detail about the characteristic features which will differentiate this tissue, specific connective tissue, with rest of the other, like for example, epithelial, smooth muscle tissue and neuronal nervous tissue. So, connective tissue is the most abundant type of tissue inside the living body. Remember this line, students, this is found most abundantly inside the living body. In general, the connective tissue is consist of same type of cells along with their ECM, that is extracellular matrix. The extracellular matrix is made up of two moieties. The first one is the ground substance and the protein fibers. So, what kind of proteins are involved in this? One is elastin protein and the second one is the collagen protein. Okay. Same protein which makes collagen fibers, just we had seen in the diagram. Now, coming to the fibers of this extracellular matrix. So, the fibers are made up of three different type of fibers. The first one is considered as white fiber. After white fibers, we are having yellow fiber, and the third one is the reticular fiber. So, white fibers, what is this? This white fiber contains the protein collagen, which gives the white fiber with good flexibility and the strength. Okay. How tightly it will bind, strength and the elasticity, flexibility, so that it will stretch and back to their normal shape and position. Now, coming to the yellow fibers, the yellow fibers contain elastin protein apart from collagen protein, which is you will see found in the white fibers. Now, we are talking about the yellow fibers. These fibers contain elastin protein, which is more elastic in nature, more flexible or elastic, like just like rubber bands than the collagen protein, but it is not as much as strong with that of white fibers, which contains the collagen protein. Okay. So, coming to the third fibers, that is reticular fibers. This is thin and highly branched collagenous fibers made up of same white collagenous fibers, but it is very thin and the structure is highly branching, and this provide the mechanical support to the nearby tissues or organs also. Now, coming to fibrous connective tissue. The fibrous connective tissue are loose, that is why it is known as areolar connective tissues. So, the example is adipose connective tissue. It is the another type of loose connective tissue. The second type is the dense connective tissue. The dense connective tissue is two types, one is regular and irregularly arranged dense, highly closely packed connective tissues, and the third type is the reticular connective tissue. Now, coming to one by one in detail, the first one is the loose or also known as areolar connective tissue. These tissues, the loose connective tissues lies or these are found between the tissues or in between the different organs binding each other. Here the loose connective tissues, the cells present in these tissues are made up of fibroblast cells. So, these fibroblast cells are large in their anatomical features, shape, and in anatomy these are looking like star shaped cells, and these fibroblastic cells contain many white fibers, which is made up of collagen protein, which is strong and flexible in nature, and sometimes also, or we can say rarely or in minute amount, the yellow fiber, which is more elastic as compared to the white or collagen fibers. Again, the loose connective tissue in continuation. Here the example is adipose tissue. It is a type of loose connective tissue. It is what is the function of adipose tissue? It stores fat and provides insulation to the body. It is found under the skin, beneath the skin, around the kidney, the cardiac smooth muscle cells, and in the breast tissues also. Okay. Now, coming to the second connective tissue, that is dense connective tissue. These are two types, students, the regular dense connective tissue and the second one is the irregularly arranged dense connective tissue. Coming to one by one, their major differences. In case of regular dense connective tissue, these consist of parallelly, or we can say the cells are arranged in a aligned manner, parallel bundles of collagenous fibers. These are found in the tendons and the ligaments of our bony structures, and these bind several organs together. While in case of irregularly connected dense connective tissue, irregularly packed dense connective tissue, here the bundles of fibers run in a different direction. Okay. That is why the name came here is irregular. This is found in the inner portion of the skin. Now, coming to the diagram, you will see the structure of dense regular connective tissue, students. Here you will see the fibrils are arranged in a systematic parallel manner, and here you will see inside this the fibroblasts are located both in dense regular and dense irregular connective tissue. Apart from blast cells, there are collagenous tissues also there. Now coming to the third connective tissue, that is cartilaginous connective tissue. Here the cells which formed this cartilaginous tissue are also known as chondrocytes. Cytes means, students, cells. Chondrocytes, the cells which are joined together and make the cartilaginous tissues. So these chondrocytes lies in small chambers named lacunae. Okay, Lacunae. Lacunae is the chamber, small chambers which arranged or closely packed these chondrocytes. Here also the extracellular matrix is solid but flexible in nature. Okay. So flexibility or elasticity is maintained here in the cartilaginous connective tissues too. The cartilaginous connective tissues are lacking the direct blood supply. Okay. Blood vessels are absent there. So as a result, it heals very slowly. So you have observed, I hope, if any injury occurred in our cartilaginous tissue, the organs or the area near bones or the joints, it heals, it will take time to heal completely. Okay. Because if there is systemic circulation, there is blood supply, what will occur? We need nutrients, oxygen and some healing endogenous release mediator inside the living body, which heals the ailment or the pain or the injury regularly, timely. Now coming to the different types of cartilaginous connective tissue, the three types. First one is hyaline cartilaginous connective tissue. The example is the trachea. Okay, in our oral cavity, the trachea is there. Here you will see, just along with the respiratory tract, windpipe, in the trachea inner lining is made up of cartilaginous connective tissue. Now the second one is the elastic cartilaginous connective tissue. The example is the inner layer of the ear, or we can say eardrum is made up of this elastic cartilaginous tissue. The third type is fibrocartilaginous tissue. The example is the anterior cruciate ligaments. So the anterior means the front part of the cruciate ligament is made up of fibrocartilaginous connective tissue. Now coming to this diagram, students, this histological, or we can say the microscopic transverse section diagram of elastic cartilaginous tissue, you will see so many densely arranged cells are there, compactly arranged in the elasticity, which help to maintain the elasticity, flexibility of this cartilaginous connective tissue. Now the second one is the hyaline cartilaginous tissue. Here the cells numbering is less as compared to, so here the elasticity, or we can say the flexibility, is little bit less as compared to elastic cartilaginous connective tissue. And in the third diagram, this is the structure of fibrous cartilaginous tissue. Here, apart from the cells, there is more number of collagen fibers, which gives support and rigidity along with the elasticity to the collagen fibrous cartilaginous tissue. Now coming to the bone connective tissue. Bone, it is the rigid part of our body. The skeletal system is composed of different types of bone inside the human being. So bones are the most rigid part of the connective tissues. So for the formation of bones, we need different type of cells, like for example osteons, osteoblastic cells, osteoclastic cells. Blastic means, students, the cells which are able to regenerate and form new bone cells. Osteoclastic cells, clast means, students, cleavage. If there is long growth or over generation of any bone, then the osteoclastic cells gets activated and they start their cleavage function. Okay. So, here in the bone connective tissues, the minerals and protein fibers gives the bone rigidity, toughness, elasticity as well as the strength. So, from where minerals and proteins are coming to this bone tissues? Through the systemic circulation. Okay. The blood circulation, the blood vessel supplies are there, and this will provide the oxygen, nutrients, food, glucose, energy for conducting their functions properly. Now, coming to the bone anatomy, this you will see a long bone. The red small droplets, these are nothing but the RBCs, or we can say red bone marrow. Red bone marrow, the bone marrow will synthesize the RBCs, red blood cells, and this is composed of, this area is made up of spongy bone. Okay. So, we can say the spongy bone is made up of trabeculae, while the compact bone is made up of osteons. Okay. So, after this spongy bone, we are having nerve supply, which will provide the neurotransmitters for the functioning of this bones. And after the nerves, there is red blood vessels are there for the blood supply, and the spongy bones are connected with the compact bone structure. This is the rigid, flexible, tight bone, compact bone, and this ends with the endosteum layer, and this compact bone inside you will found there is yellow bone marrow. Okay. And this endosteum ends with the structure named periosteum. Peri means periphery. So, remember peripheral part, periosteum. Osteocytes, osteons means the cells which forms the bone. Okay. Now, coming to this spongy bone which forms the RBCs, this is the enlarged picture of this spongy bone, which is composed of trabeculae meshwork. These are fibrous collagenous tissues which forming a meshwork, sieve like structure, which is nothing but the trabeculae meshwork. Now, coming to two different types of bone which we had already talking about, that is spongy bone and the compact bone. So, compact bone is found in the outer portion of the long bones, and this compact bone consists of many of the cylindrical shaped units known as osteons. So, students, please remember these terms. The compact bone is made up of the subunits named osteons, while the second type spongy bones, these are made by trabeculae. Okay. So, spongy bone, these are found on the ends, peripheral portion of the long bone, and it contains the bony bars and the bony plates, which is known as the trabeculae meshwork, and these trabeculae are separated by the irregular spaces. The example is the blood cells. These cells are made within the red bone marrow, which is found in the spongy bones only. So, see this diagram, students. This is the spongy bone versus compact bone diagram. See this spongy bone structure. You will see the osteocytes, osteons, okay, osteons and osteocytes. The cells forming osteons are known as osteocytes, and after this osteocytes we are having lamellae and the canals like structures, which is named canaliculi. This is canaliculi, and this is the enlarged portion of one osteon. Beneath this osteon, we are having at the periphery periosteum layers, and inside you will see the hollow void porous structures which make the bone spongy in nature. Okay. And the canals, the vertical column like structure you will see, these are nothing but the Haversian canals, and these Haversian canal will attach with the blood supply and give supply to the spongy bone cells, and the horizontal line which connect these to Haversian canal is known as the Waxman canal. Now coming to the compact bone structure, this is more rigid as compared to spongy bone. These are tightly arranged osteon cells, and these osteon cells are having different canals, which is again same name, Haversian system, and you will found here interstitial laminae, blood vessels within the central Haversian canal to supply the blood, the nutrient, food materials to these osteons, and osteocytes are arranged in a lacunae. Okay, blood vessels within the perforating Waxman canal are also there. Now, you will see here one more structure, that is concentric lamellae. Concentric means arranged in a circular fashion. Lamellae at the where? Periphery, or we can say periosteum layer. Now coming to the next connective tissue, the fluid connective tissue, or we can say the liquid connective tissue, example is the blood. The connective tissue blood is composed of cells. What cells? RBCs, WBCs, plasma cells, platelets, so many blood cells are there, students, suspended in a liquid matrix known as plasma. Okay. So RBCs, also known as, RBCs means red blood cells, or we can say these cells are erythrocytes. These are having function to carry oxygen from one place to another. The another blood cells like white blood cells are also known as leukocytes. These are responsible to fight for the foreign particles to maintain our immune system. Okay, these fights from various infections or toxins which are coming from the external environment. Now the third cells are the platelets. These platelets are nothing but the fragment of giant cells found in the bone marrow. So see this diagram, this is entire blood structure composed of RBC cells, which is red in color, circular shaped. Then in the center you are having neutrophils and lymphocytes. Again see this curved structure, these are nothing but the monocytes, small blood cells. Okay. These monocytes named when it is immature. After maturing, these monocytes become the macrophages, and macrophages are responsible for engulfing the foreign particles and maintaining our immunity. Then basophils and the white small structures, irregular shaped, you will find these are the platelets. Okay. So this is the structure of blood, and this ends with today's lecture. See you in our next lecture. Till then, take care, study well, bye bye.